Hello, hello. Welcome to English Sound Rocks. And today's lesson about art is a look at pop art. This one says pop art was the art of popular culture. It was the art movement that characterized a sense of optimism during the consumer boom of the 1950s. This was written by Kelly Cipolli. Let's see. Art is everywhere. Have a look at this piece of art. Do you recognize anything? It's related to food. This one is called French fries and ketchup. And look at it, it was created in 1963 by Klaus Oldenburg. And the question is your lunch a work of art? It could be, why not? Look at this one. This is Still Life number 25. So there was a big collection by Tom Wesselman. This was in 1953. What can you see? Some milkshakes, maybe? Apples, some fruit salad, yes, cereals with bananas, blue cheese, some bread, yes, in slices. And it says here, a tablecloth. Have a look at the position of the object because this is a typical aspect of pop art. Now we'll learn. During the 1950s and 1960s, a long time ago, a new style of art emerged that changed the way people viewed fine art. This is not actually fine art. Artists in the US and Great Britain turned the ordinary into the extraordinary by creating art based on American popular culture. Let's move on. Wow, do you recognize any? Well, here we have this artist, Richard Hamilton. He was born in 1922 and he died in 2011. And my favorite, this is Andy Warhol. He was born in 1928 and unfortunately he died in 1987. So it says here images of celebrities and advertisements were not considered worth, no valía la pena, displaying in a gallery or museum until the pop art movement began. Works based on images like these would have been considered low art prior to the pop art movement. Have a look at this picture. This is Swinging London by Richard Hamilton in 1972. Is this art? Well, it actually was. Pop artists created fun, artistic images of everyday America. Pop art is for everyone, artist one Andy Warhol said. And this was Superman by Andy Warhol in 1960. So have a look. This is typical. Now we'll see, we'll learn more. Wow, maybe you recognize this. Tins or cans. Cans is otra forma in American English yes, of saying tin, lata. And these were soup. Yes, they are very famous in the US. It says soup stirs things up. In 1962, Andy Warhol's 32, not one, 32. They were different flavors, yes? So Andy Warhol's 32 paintings of Campbell's soup cans were displayed in a California art gallery. The soup can exhibit made Warhol famous and marked the climax of the pop art movement in America. Okay, and it says here the paintings rested on a shelf en un estante as if they were products on a grocery store shelf. Sí, como si fuesen así productos en un almacén, ¿no? Los estantes de un almacén. Look at all the different types of soup. Characteristics of pop art. And here we are. Have a look. What colors can you see? Look at this part that it's like spotted. Plain colors, strong lines here, the borders. Again, this dotted thing. There, the shadows are different. We'll have a look at them. It says pop art paintings tend to have very bright colors, usually red, yellow, blue, primary colors, aren't they? The images in pop art are flat. This is important, like those in comic books. Some artists also used band aid dots. This is what I was telling you about, the dots here. A method borrowed by comic book printing. And here we have Roy Lichtenstein, maybe he's German. He was born in 1923 and died in 1997. Roy Lichtenstein is famous for his paintings inspired by comic books. And that's something that I love. This is a self portrait by Andy Warhol in 1966, and it says silk screens are also used in pop art. Andy Warhol used this commercial printing technique to reproduce an image multiple times. Some artists used found materials such as discarded television sets and telephones to create their work. Others used photographs to make collages, yes, sorry, collages. Still Life number 20 by Tom Wesselman in 1962. Again, lots of items of food. Look at this one, much more closer to our era. Here it is the end of an era. In 1965, Andy Warhol said the pop art movement was over, but its impact remains strong today. Yes, it is. Yes, it does. Modern artists still use the techniques made famous by Warhol and others to create everything from portraits to websites and greeting cards. Pop art influences many artists today. Urban artists like Shepard Fairey use the sick screening techniques made popular by Warhol to create iconic images. And this one is from 2008. As you can see, who's this? Yes, the former President Obama. And it was called Hope. This is one that I love as well. This is Romero Brito's art. Hmm? He's Brazilian, and but he lives in Miami. And look at all the details. Maybe you recognize them. It's not only pictures like this. Pop art leaves its mark. Pop art broke down the barriers between low art and fine art with a work based on things people see every day. This one says here art by Romero Bitro on display in a gallery. Hmm? Maybe you identify different items. For example, once I saw um, Disney items all painted with this, okay? But I have a lot. I have, for example, um, dishes for my dogs with this art. I bought Kleenex tissue papers with this art while I have paintings, clothes, suitcases. There are suitcases. I have never bought them, but I will one day. I love it. It's much colorful, it's cheerful, very nice. Well, for some people, obviously. And one of the sculptures I love the most, I have my picture in New York, but there are many others in the rest of the world. This one says Love Sculpture by Robert Indiana in 1970. From subcans to superheroes, the pop art movement showed the world that art is everywhere, and it is indeed. Yes, this one, you may recognize it. There is another one that says Hope, and well, you will find a lot. Well, there is a little glossary, as usual. There's Band-Aid dots. Dots used to add shading in comic books, newspapers, and other printed works. Celebrities, famous people such as movie stars and singers. Climax, the most important part. Collages, pieces of art made by attaching different items such as photographs and objects to a surface. Discarded, thrown away. Exhibit, a public show of art, or other interesting things. Silk screens, a method of printing that puts color through special fabric. Recuerden que fabric es tela that only lets the paint go through certain areas. Okay, so I hope you enjoy all this collection of books about art. And wherever you go, try to identify art. You may have a lot around you. And I hope you like doing your art things, your art pieces. Okay? I guess that anybody can become an artist. Okay? So, what is your favorite art movement, avant-garde? ¿Qué vanguardia les gusta? Who is your favorite artist? All right, well, enjoy the collection and we'll see each other again. Bye bye.